How's everybody doing this evening? This is Walmart Rob with you guys, coming to you from Baker, California. Currently going to be heading towards Las Vegas, Nevada, and from there to Hurricane, Utah to do a pickup. How's everybody doing? It's been about a little bit over a week since we've done a video, and today's topic is something kind of strange because I've been getting these messages from a lot of you guys asking me different kind of stuff, so I thought I'd address to you guys in a video. First topic in hand, you guys asked me, do we wear white, blue, or striped shirts for uniforms? Do you guys have a say-so in what uniforms you get, or is it just something that is randomly given to you? So here goes. At my DC, they give us a choice of, I believe it's 16 shirts and 11 pants. Yeah. So, no, I take that back. It's yeah, it is 16 shirts and 11 pants and 2 jackets. So they give you a choice of you want to make them all solid blue, all white, or all stripes, short sleeve, long sleeve. Or you can mix them up a combination. So I typically went with 6 pants, 5 shorts, and I went with 6 white shirts, short sleeve, 6 blue shirts, short sleeve, and 4 striped shirts, long sleeve, for the winter. That was just a choice of what I got. I've noticed that every DC is different. So, I mean, if you're getting hired on and you're already in that process of just going to your DC for your first time, talk to your GTM, and they should give you all that information. Actually, sometimes they'll give it to you right there during their orientation process. So hopefully that explains your guys' question. Another one was, do we hire out of Florida? Yes, we do. We do hire out of Florida. As long as you're within 250-mile range of a distribution center, you are eligible to apply and work out of wherever you live. An option also is, just say there's no openings at one distribution center of your choice, but you move over to a DC that's in another state, but still within the 250-mile range. You're still able to apply to that DC without relocating. Another question that was asked to me, kind of similar to this question, was, say I want to work in another region, am I eligible to apply for that region? You can, as long as you are going to relocate into that region. If that region is over 250 miles out of where you live, then yes, you do have to relocate in that process. A lot of people, tell them to get hired in that region and are going to relocate once they get situated at that location. So it is possible. Talk to your recruiter, because I believe they'll sometimes ask you if you're willing to relocate into certain regions, and Walmart does cover your relocation fees, from what I've heard from some of the drivers that I talk to. So keep that in mind, people. Hopefully that answers your question in that area. Another question that was recently asked to me does Walmart hire new drivers? Unfortunately, Walmart does not hire drivers coming out of driving school. Walmart requires 3 years minimum of over-the-road experience. So hopefully, you're within that time range. If you're over 30 months of over-the-road experience, I encourage you to apply. It doesn't hurt to apply. On the contrary, Walmart has the final say, so they might hire you. I mean, I've seen some different drivers with different situations get hired. So, I mean, do apply. Walmart is hiring currently. So, hopefully that answers that question. If not, drop a comment down below, and just ask. So other than that, people, let's get into one topic that I see that a lot of new and current drivers with experience are having a difficult time doing, and that's once coming up to a downgrade or an upgrade. Let's talk about upgrade. We all know that the heavier you are with your load, the slower you're going to be going up the hill. So, what I'd like to do is starting when I start the upgrade, as soon as I know I'm going to start going up the hill, I try to give myself a little momentum so I can go up the hill. And once I start going up the hill, I tend to be looking at my RPMs a lot, keeping a close eye. So I never want to let it drop below 1100 RPM. It seems to me that that's the best time for me to shift. It gives me a little bit more power. So I downshift into the next gear. So if I'm in 10th gear, I downshift into 9th gear at 1100 RPM. I typically let it get to about between 50 and 55 miles per hour when I do that shift. So once I get into that shift, if I know that if I'm going on a 6% grade, I typically know that at anything above 73,000 pounds, 73,000 pounds, I'm going to be going up that hill, depending on the length of the hill, at least 30 miles an hour up that hill. So with that being said, I typically at that speed am at 7th gear, and just let the truck do the job to turn on my 4-way so that people know that I'm going slow, and I keep in the first lane at all times, unless I have to pass somebody that's going slower than I am. So always listen to your truck, look at your truck, and if you need to drop down a gear, drop down a gear. Let the truck breathe. That way it maximizes the power of you going up the hill, and it saves you a little bit of fuel. Even though that we are going up the hill, we never want to be revving the engine to its full potential going up hills. It's not good. So we try to let the engine breathe a little bit, drop down to the next gear, and just cruise up on the hill. So now that we talked about the uphill, let's talk about that downhill. I've heard a lot of drivers say that there's no way you can downshift when you're going downhill. You can downshift, but I don't recommend it unless you've gone down that hill and you know how to control your load very well. So what I like to recommend is that you get into the proper gear before you start going down that hill, because that puts less wear and tear on your truck. So here we go. If you're doing a 6% grade, what that means is for every 100 feet it drops 6 feet. So typically we want to do is I like to make sure that my truck doesn't go above 35 miles an hour when I'm doing a 6% grade. It depends on the speed that's posted. Lots of times it doesn't give you a speed, but you know something, if you're top heavy, again, anything above 72,000 pounds, I recommend you going down that hill safe if you've never gone down a hill. So what I like to typically do is, slow the truck down and downshift all the way down to 7th gear if I'm that heavy. And the reason is, at 7th gear with my engine brake going down that hill, I never had to apply the brakes on my truck unless I'm coming up to another truck that's going slower than what I am going. So I tend to let it go down the hill, with the engine brake. Never had to step on my brake, which is the best option you have. Now, some people like to go a little bit faster if there's no speed limit posted. So typically in California, speed limit is 55. So what we like to do, a lot of people like to do, is downshift into 8th gear and let the truck roll a little bit faster. But that puts more stress on your engine coming down the hill, because now not only are the RPMs going up high and you're starting to gain speed, but now you're having to apply brake to slow the truck down if it goes above certain RPMs. I never like to let it go above 1500 RPMs. So with that being said, I like to keep it at least at 1500 RPM. So I'll drop it down into 7th gear and just cruise down the hill. If you have to shift, let's say some people are going to 9th gear and start shifting down here, well, you're gonna have to keep an eye on your speed so you can downshift. So why worry so much going downhill when you can prevent it from the top of the hill? Just something to think about, people. So always prepare before you go up the hill and before you come down the hill. With that being said, people, I hope this video helps out. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Don't forget to share these videos with a lot of other people, and drop a comment down below, people. Again, this is Walmart Rob. Stay in touch.